And we begin WFAA News at 5 with breaking news at the University of Texas, Dallas. Chopper 8 is live over the campus in Richardson right now. Police and deputies are breaking up an encampment pro-Palestinian protesters put up earlier today. They're demanding the school divest from companies like Lockheed Martin and Boeing. And put most simply, divest means the opposite of invest. Janelle Fort is live at UTD, where police have built a barricade to keep the protesters back. Janelle, what's happening right now?
Well, again, they've built that barricade. The protesters have moved from the encampment area where they've completely torn down everything that was set up. So we're talking tents, tables, they have blankets laid out where people were earlier today. And it's pretty incredible how quickly this went from a peaceful protest to what you're seeing right now. I'm going to step out of the shot. I want to give you a look. There is a tank here. You see those Palestinian flags flying in the background. And if you listen closely, you can hear the protesters chanting. Now, we've seen state troopers out here. We've seen UT Dallas police out here. Right now, things are still pretty calm. I'm sure you can see that in our shot and from the chopper shot overhead. There are a number of students out here. When we first got out here earlier, the organizers that we spoke with tell me that they'd been out here since about 4:30 this morning. Again, they are pushing UT Dallas administrators to divest from companies that they say are linked to Israel and linked to the violence currently going on in Gaza. That includes Boeing, that includes Northrop Grumman, that includes a few other companies as well. So all of these students out here, they told me earlier that they do not plan to leave until the university meets those demands, even as their encampment has been torn down. Right now, they're taking the tires that surrounded the encampment down. They're loading up those tents into university trucks to be carried out of this area. I am not sure how long they're going to allow the protesters to stay in the plaza here. This is Chess Plaza at UTD, and protest and chant and continue on. One thing that I think is worth noting is that when I was speaking with university students earlier, the ones that were not a part of this protest, I asked them if this protest was causing any concern to them. And a lot of them told me that they were indifferent about what was going on here. They said that they respected their classmates' rights to free speech. So it's interesting to see just how much this has escalated here in just the past 2 hours. Of course, we will continue to be out here throughout the evening, giving you updates. Again, several of the protesters have been arrested. We're unsure what next steps. But again, we'll be out here and we'll continue to update you. Sending it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Janelle Fort live at UTD in Richardson. We want to bring in senior crime and justice reporter Rebecca Lopez. Rebecca, you've been on the phone with law enforcement today. We saw people get arrested. What are they telling you about those who have been arrested?
Well, Izzy, yes, there have been some arrests. The lead agency on this is going to be the University of Texas Dallas Police Department. That is because they are the primary police force out there on that campus. They're also being assisted right now by Richardson Police, DPS troopers, as well as the Collin County Sheriff's Department. So that is who is out there right now. They have made some arrests. Those people will most likely be charged with criminal trespassing. That's typically the charge that they charge them with in this kind of protest when they are on a property and they won't get off that property. Also, there also could be some resisting a police officer's orders or something like that. Those are usually pretty minor misdemeanor offenses. So at this point, we know that there have been some arrests. They'll probably be taken over to the Collin County Jail where they will be processed, or sometimes they can just be detained there at the scene and then eventually released. So we will have more details on that, obviously, as they hold a press conference or they let us know exactly what they've done out there. But again, they are basically just trying to clear this area right now and get these protesters off this campus.
Rebecca, as we look at this live picture together, you see there all of the law enforcement there on the grounds, and you see that barricade that they have erected there to keep the distance between them and the protesters. Is this a typical response from police?
It is, and what they're trying to do is just hold the line. They're trying to actually, I know it looks intimidating when you see all of those officers out there, but it is basically to try to de-escalate the situation. They're trying to move all of that out without having to use anything like the non-lethal weapons like pepper ball or tear gas or things like that, which we've seen in other protests across the country. But this one looks pretty calm compared to what we've seen in other areas of the country. So again, yes, that is typical. They're going to put up that barricade. They're going to put a bunch of officers up front. They're going to hold that line, and they're not going to allow anyone else to enter that area. And if they do, they will be charged with criminal trespassing and arrested, Cynthia.
All right, our thanks to you, Rebecca Lopez from our Dallas newsroom. And there you see the latest from that encampment. It is just about gone. We saw tents there earlier, just about an hour ago, and they are gone. And right now, law enforcement, they're just holding the line, Chris.
Yeah, as we just saw at UTD, right now, universities and police departments across the country are cracking down on pro-Palestine demonstrators. And some say protests have been co-opted by outsiders who are escalating the violence. Down in Austin, a major protest planned for today has been postponed to Sunday. Dozens of people were arrested earlier this week during protests on UT's campus. And UCLA had to cancel classes today following a clash at an encampment on its campus in LA.
All right, now